All right, so since the last stream, an interesting rumor has surfaced online. According to GameFile News, and this was picked up by all the big publications from IGN to GameSpot to Kotaku to Polygon, Ubisoft canceled a post-Civil War Assassin's Creed game last year.
Only Sonic wields that type of power.
You know, I don't know why when I turn my fucking alerts off, they stay on. Now, that's how I feel that they canceled it. But the idea of a post-Civil War Reconstruction era Assassin's Creed sounds like... In July of last year, word began to trickle through Ubisoft that an ambitious new installment in the company's top franchise, Assassin's Creed, had been canceled. The new game would have brought the history-spanning series to one of its most modern settings, the American Civil War, and more so the Reconstruction period that followed in the 1860s and 1870s.
Thanks for the resub.
I turned them off and they're still going on, bro. What the fuck? I don't know why they keep playing it. Anyways, in this Reconstruction era Assassin's Creed, gamers would play as a black man who'd been formerly enslaved in the South and move west to start a new life. Recruited by the series assassins, he would return to the South to fight for justice in a conflict that would be, among other things, see him confront the emergence of the Ku Klux Klan. That's according to interviews with 5 current and former Ubisoft employees. He spoke to GameFile on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak about the project. Basically, you know, we'll give you the scoop, just don't, you know, snitch on who did it. The people were enthusiastic about the game, but were also frustrated by its cancellation, which they perceived as Ubisoft bowing to controversy. 3 sources told GameFile that word filtered through the company last July that management in Paris had stopped development of the game for 2 reasons. 1, online backlash that sprang to the reveal of Yasuke, a historically inspired black samurai, as a protagonist in the company's then upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, and 2, concern that the political climate in the United States was becoming increasingly tense. Too political in a country. Shout out to Lewis with the sub. Too political in a country, too unstable to make it short. One source familiar with the game and its cancellation told GameFile. Game cancellations are not unusual, sources say, but reasons such as those are. This would be Assassin's Creed's game. Wait, this would be Assassin's Creed game was early. What the fuck? This would be Assassin's Creed game was early. I think early in development, what they say. Translation, they caved to the fucking grifters. They caved to the fucking grifters. You know what's unfortunate about this too?
Ideology I resubscribe to, and that's Sonic's BBC.
Really hate that these alerts keep going off. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on with this. What pisses me off about this story is this was a cool idea. And I think this game would have been a great way to prove whether or not the grifters were honest or not, because I think it was just racism, the whole Yasuke thing, because Yasuke was a real person. Now, because, you know, not everything was written back then. You know, some things might be folktale, some things might be historically accurate. It's kind of hard to tell. So, like, you know, you kind of got to be a little bit more loose with the legend of Yasuke. But what happened post-Civil War with Reconstruction is very well documented. So what Yasuke allowed people to do is they allowed to hide their racism behind, oh, we don't know if this is 100% accurate, which is fucking stupid, because they didn't care about anything else being historically accurate. It was only with the black man. We know it's racist. But I think this game would have been a great example to prove that they are fucking grifters, because you cannot debate what happened post-Civil War. The Jim Crow era, the Ku Klux Klan was born. We had segregation. People were getting lynched. Fucking what's old boy, the white girl said he whistled at her, that shit wasn't true. We found out 70 years later she died. You said Lord Emmett Till, we found out Emmett Till got lynched because a white woman said that he looked at her and whistled, and then on her deathbed a couple years ago she admitted that shit was a fucking lie. That's the type of shit that was going on regularly. That would have been fucking great. That would have been a great, not with Emmett Till, don't take that out of context, but exploring that historical accuracy, showing the real America, being able to kill some of these sons of bitches, that shit would have been fucking great. And it would have also proved whether or not these grifters were being honest, because if it was historically accurate, I mean, like, this is how you know we're living in a crazy timeline. When we could take a situation like this, things that actually happened and things that are still happening, Shout out to, I think his name is Trey something, that recently passed away in Mississippi. They found him hanging from a tree. They said he hung himself. It was suicide. But then an independent autopsy said that he had trauma in the back of his head. So survey says that was a lie.
But this won't be.
Shout out to something racist with the $20 super chat. This game would have went triple platinum.
Still exist today.
It would have went triple platinum in the hood. I would have bought one. I would have bought the regular copy, the deluxe copy. I would have bought the fucking limited edition with the fucking statues and shit like that. I'm trying to pre-order. Yeah, I'm trying to, from this story, I really hope that Ubisoft sees the feedback, because surprisingly, overwhelmingly, I saw positive feedback for this. I was looking at the comment section on tweets about this shit, and most people were like, yo, this shit sounds fire. And I'm talking about all colors of people were saying this shit. Like, this shit sound like it would have been a great game. Like, imagine a game where like the Ku Klux Klan get to Apple of Eden and you got to take them down before they fucking brainwash America. That would have been fire. Just mission upon. Imagine an open world down south Mississippi map full of camps with Ku Klux Klan members that you got to sneak in and stab them up.
Afford a retwist for my locks.
Shout out to Phantom Force with the sub. Mafia 3 to me is the best depiction of the civil rights era in America. Yeah, that game was great too. Did Mafia 3 get a lot of love? It didn't. No, it didn't. Mafia 3, I've always talked about that game. Mafia 3 was swept under the rug. If you go look at Mafia 3 reviews, unfortunately, because most of the media is dominated by white men, if you go look at most of Mafia 3 reviews, all they said was that the game was redundant. It was repetitive. That game is a prime example of why representation matters, because if you look at those reviews, you'll think it's fucking mid as fuck. But I've always said that the story in Mafia 3 is top tier, one of the best stories in gaming in a long time. But it'll only resonate with you if you understand what the fuck is going on. But to, I think, a lot of those people, those white males that reviewed those games that are super popular, to them it's just a game, it's a work of fiction. They don't understand how accurate a lot of that stuff was, and it doesn't resonate with them because it's not their problem. You see what I'm saying? It was just another story to them. Yeah, I thought Mafia 3 was overlooked because it was a play. Yeah, that shit was hella overlooked. The story and the world building was so good. The gameplay could have been better. It was a little bit repetitive, but I felt like people went a little bit too hard on it in comparison to other open world games, simply because the protagonist was black in comparison to the other Mafia games. And look at what we got now with the new Mafia. That shit's repetitive as fucking. You don't see nobody bitching. That new Mafia came out, nobody's talking about that shit. I've been said every Mafia game, every game is fucking repetitive, to be honest, but every Mafia game, they're all very similar. Just one had a black guy, and for some reason that's when the game became repetitive. But anyways, yeah, all the Mafia games repetitive. That was a bullshit cop out in terms of criticizing the game. Now we hate the repetition. Okay. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I hope one thing that, like I said, coming out of this story to bring it full circle, is I hope Ubisoft sees the feedback and that they've gotten online and they reconsider opening this game up. I will say though, if they do greenlight this game, especially because you guys got money from Tencent now.
Super chat twin. I guess dropping a super bag on a super nigga like me would be super appropriate for
Shout out to Cuddy with the $5 super chat
To
justify why they're the only company I wish failure upon. You guys would have been printing money. This game would have brought you back from hell. The only thing I ask is, if you guys do decide to greenlight this game, is you gotta find a way to weave in the sci-fi elements again. One of my big issues with Assassin's Creed Shadows is I'm 75 hours into that game. I still ain't beat it because it never fucking ends. And I've not touched any modern day stuff. I don't know what Assassin's Creed. Oh my god. Shout out to the Monstars with the sub. I'm trying to talk my shit. My only issue with one of my main issues with Assassin's Creed Shadows, because that game actually does have issues besides the black guy. Yeah, there isn't any modern day. I'm 75 hours into it and I haven't seen any modern day. And it's like, what does this have to do with the story of the modern day? At least they tried with the previous Abstergo stuff after they fucked up the timeline by killing Desmond. But like, they're not even trying anymore. And it's like, I don't want to just play a game with historical figures and historical settings. I want that to tie into the greater sci-fi conspiracy and what that means for the timeline going forward. So it's like, if you guys are going to keep making these games, you need to tie them together somehow again, because if it doesn't tie into the greater storyline, it doesn't feel like anything. Like, it was really cool how in we first, if you played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's how we found out that there was a Japanese faction for Assassin's Creed. It was an Easter egg in Assassin's Creed Odyssey during the modern day sections. Shout out to Blaze Light Zero with the $5 super chat. During the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, during the modern day section, is when we found out there was a Japanese faction of assassins, which, I mean, there had to be, but they confirmed it, and I was like, that shit was cool. You said, keep in mind, this is the same studio that gave us Far Cry 5 and no one complained. I don't understand the point you're trying to make. I thought Far Cry 5 was okay. I don't understand the point you're trying to make. Unless you're talking about like the ending to Far Cry with the cult. Is that what you mean? Like nobody was complaining about the cult or whatever? I think the reason people weren't complaining about that is because it's something completely different. But they're trying to call this political. This is how you know we're living in a bad timeline. When calling repetition, is that what he means? I don't know what he means by that. You got to clarify on that. You know it's bad when you start calling things historically accurate political. It wasn't political that we couldn't drink from the same water fountains. We couldn't. You know, fun fact, you know, the reason a lot of black people can't swim is because we weren't allowed to swim. We were banned from pools, from public pools. That's why a lot of black people can't swim. So then your parents can't swim and then they can't teach it to you. Now, if you have the money to take lessons now, that's one thing, but that's the reason why a lot, and then they make jokes about this shit. That actually happened. Yeah, they threw acid in the pool. So it's like, if you're calling that political, that's not political, that's just evil. Let's call it what it is. Slavery, like trying to act like this shit is woke. You guys are pussy. If this is actually the case, you're worried about the political climate. This is not political. It's about good versus evil. And is Assassin's Creed not about good versus evil? Is it not about starting like the Templars creating a conspiracy within the Ku Klux Klan is 100% on brand for Assassin's Creed. Creating some type of fictional version of this. This shit is not political. It's fucking evil. Ubisoft, grow a backbone if you guys want to make some money. God knows you guys need some money because ain't nobody buying that fucking Avatar game. Ain't nobody buying that Star Wars game. And even Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's like a 7.5. It's cool, but I'm gonna be honest. It's not what it needed to be. Right now, Ubisoft is in financial dire. You don't need a 7.5. You need an 8.5 or above. This shit would be fire. Give us this game, bitch. Yeah, Ubisoft on fucking live support. So yeah, if you didn't hear about this story, it is what it is. I thought Far Cry 5 was controversial to some because it took place in America depicting Christian gun-toting madmen. Really? I didn't see none of that controversy. That game came out, I felt like people was just playing it. You must have a different algorithm than me. I didn't see. Did anybody see any controversy surrounding Far Cry 5? I don't feel like I saw that on social media. I feel like things were much more calm back then. The story writes itself and they read green lights. Yeah, it writes itself. I would have bought that shit on principle. I would have pre-ordered that shit, bro. And you know I don't pre-order shit. So it's crazy too, because between Expedition 33 and now Assassin's Creed Reconstruction, if that's what they were gonna call it, it shows that Ubisoft has the talent, but you guys are fucking pussy. You wouldn't greenlight an idea like Expedition 33, so they went off and made their own game. You have Assassin's Creed fucking Reconstruction right here. The internet is telling you we want it and you won't make it. But you know what they are making? They are confirmed to be making Assassin's Creed Salem Witch Trials. Nigga, who asked for that? It'll be like some Assassin's Creed voodoo game. Like, who gives a fuck, bruh? They don't play that goofy ass shit. I'm good off that. A lot of Montana people and normal outrage people a lot of Montana people. Nigga, what's the population?
When you resubscribe, I resubscribe.
A lot of people in Montana were upset. The entire state of Montana has 1 million people. I live in LA. There are more people in LA than there are in the entire state of Montana. Who gives a fuck what people in Montana have to say? Poor horses and people in fucking Montana. You know how I know Montana? This is my Montana story. Back in the day when I used to do fucking with GameStop videos, if you're not familiar with my content, I used to prank call GameStop. I remember I would go on Google Maps and just look up random GameStops in different states. I remember I called a GameStop in Montana. There were 4, I repeat, 4 GameStops in the entire state of Montana. That's fucking crazy. And now there's probably none because GameStop is in financial straits, so fuck them. Ubisoft, get it together. Get it together. Looking at the feedback from social media, looking from the feedback from my comment section. Seems like a lot of people will want this game. So I hope that social media, I hope Ubisoft's PR team is on social media and looking at what people are saying, because people are fucking with this, man. You guys got something here. My guy hates GameStop with a passion, and you should too, nigga. You hate all corporations. They are not on our team. Remember that. Other news, Battlefield 6 reviews are out. I see a 10. I see some 9.5s, some 9s, some 8s. Overall, the current Metacritic is an 83. On a similar site, the Metacritic is an 85, but overall, it's exactly what I thought it was going to come out. I thought it was going to be an 8, 8.5. I thought that's what most people would give it based off of what I played. I would imagine what brought the scores down is probably because from what I'm hearing from the reviews, the story, the campaign is ass. I saw IGN gave the campaign a 5, but everybody says the multiplayer is fire, which is fine to me because I'm not playing this game for the campaign. I said I was going to try the campaign, but after the reviews came out, I think I'm just going to go straight to multiplayer, guys. And it drops tomorrow, so you know we on that. You know we on that. For all the gaming is dead people, we have another banger dropping tomorrow. Don't act like it's nothing to play. I said for years GameStop wants to save itself. They need to treat digital goods like physical goods and start their own digital storefront and have a subscription. Nah, I don't agree with that. The last thing we need right now is more subscriptions. In this day and age where everything's going digital, you should be promoting ownership. I don't agree with that. I don't know. And then on top of that is GameStop. I would never subscribe to GameStop because GameStop could collapse tomorrow. GameStop is always 24 hours away from a collapse. That's why they on social media begging people for money, begging for clout. When the news came out that they were jacking up the price of the Game Pass, the official GameStop account on Twitter tweeted out, well, Game Pass prices ain't up it ain't up at GameStop. Come buy our gift cards, because they still had them in stock. And people were like gassing them up. And I'm like, can you not see the corporate move here? Game Pass is cheaper at GameStop simply because they have leftover gift cards that nobody buys because nobody shops at that shitty place. But when those gift cards run out or when they expire, the price will go up. They're going to get new gift cards with the new price point. But they try to make it seem like, man, you fucking clout chasing sons of bitches. They try to make it seem like they was just really out here for the man, bro. Fuck GameStop, bro. I said what I said. GameStop is grimy. Yeah, them niggas is not getting my fucking money. Little Nightmares reviews came out as well. Little Nightmares 3. When GameStop shuts down, I pop bottles. Every time a GameStop shuts down, my fucking blood pressure go down. Yeah, support your local mom and pops. A lot of people were asking me if I was gonna play this. I played either Little Nightmares 1 or 2. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I thought it was a cool game, but it wasn't my cup of tea. But the reviews, they say it's okay. See some 8.5s, 8s, 7s. Overall, the Metacritic average is a 73. So, I mean, if you're interested in it, it's something to play. But, yeah, you know, something. 2 more games. EB Games is lit. EB Games was lit. We got some more numbers in for... By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Every time a GameStop shuts down, an angel gains its wings. Real shit. Real shit. You know, here on this stream, I'm the numbers guy, and we've got some new numbers to expose you all. According to this article, more than 60, meaning the majority of gamers in the United States only buy 2 games or fewer per year. Shout out to Esom with the sub. And only 4% buy more than 1 game a month. Market research company Sarcana senior director Matt Piscala shared data from its Q3 2025 Future of Video Games survey, specifically its data on purchasing frequency among players in the United States. According to the data, 18% of players in the US buy a new game about once every 6 months, while 12% buy one about once a year. The survey also found that 33% of players buy a new game less often than once per year, meaning a combined 63% of players buy only 2 games or fewer every year. On the other end of the scale, 22% of players buy a new game around once every 3 months, with 10% saying they buy one roughly every month. Just 4% said they buy more than one game a month. So what this data is telling us is more than half of gamers buy 2 games or less per year. But of that 40%, that 37% of people who buy a lot of games, they're the whales. They're buying more games than the average person. So what does this data say for you guys? What I got out of this data is, first and foremost, let's get something straight. I understand that, you know, everybody's on a budget, especially we're in an economic downturn. The entire world is. The entire world is in an economic downturn. So I understand, you know, games are expensive. You can't, although I'd argue some of you guys don't know how to budget your money, because a lot of y'all spent $100,000 on Marvel Rivals and then complain you can't buy a PS5, but y'all not ready to talk about that. A lot of y'all spent $500,000 on fucking VC to get 20,000 builds in 2K26, but y'all don't want to talk about that. A lot of y'all spend 300,000 million on fucking V-Bucks for your fucking nephew because he begs you every 5 seconds and your dumbass caves in because he needs the new Goku skin. And now you say you can't afford a PS5, but you're not ready to talk about that. That being said, for the financially responsible people, that's who I'm talking to, who buy 2 games or less, I understand we're in an economic downturn and games are a hobby. It's not a priority. It's not something you need. It's not water, food, shelter, bad bitches, you know. Anyways, it's not the point is it's not something you need. But what I get from this data is a lot of you don't buy new games, you don't play new games, but for some reason you still have opinions on them. That's what I get from this data. You niggas is frauds. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let everybody know, come December, when the Game Awards comes around and your friends, I'm not talking about anybody in this chat because I'm gonna be honest, if you watch a stream like this, you more than likely are buying more than 2 games a year. You're probably a hardcore gamer. We're usually more hardcore gamers watch me, right? Not always, but usually. But your friend group, people who you are friends with, when the Game Awards comes around and they hop on social media and they say, how the fuck did Expedition 33 beat, I don't know, whatever popular game came out from that they think should win, Black Ops 7, this is fucking why. And that has always been my issue. I don't care how you spend your money. We're all adults here. My issue has always been, as gaming has gone more mainstream, you got a lot of people out here running their mouth about shit that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and the data backs it up. Anybody who plays games would have never been shocked that fucking Baldur's Gate 3 beat Spider-Man 2. I'm always gonna use that shit as a reference. All y'all did was expose you, sitting on your stream screaming, what? That shit wasn't that great. And the worst part is, after it won, I saw a lot of people, and kudos to the people who kept an open mind. Saw a lot of people go back and try Baldur's Gate after it won Game of the Year, and a lot of people were like, yo, this shit is fucking fire. I get it. Exactly. Shut the fuck up. You niggas is not qualified. You niggas come in here asking me if I'm gonna play Black Ops 7. I'm talking about y'all. No. We are on the eve. We're on the cusp of the release of Battlefield 6, and you got the nerve to ask me if I'm gonna play Black Ops 7? Ghost of Yote is out. I'm dripping the fuck out on Atsu. And you got the nerve to ask me if I'm gonna play Black Ops 7? So that's why I wanted to bring up this data to remind people, yo, when you get into debates with people about these games and shit, and they getting super passionate and they're just loud and wrong, don't give them your energy because they don't know what they're talking about. Y'all don't play no fucking games, bruh. Y'all don't, unless it's free. And then you try to act like it's great simply because it's free. Example, i.e. Skate. Everything I've seen and heard from Baldur's Gate 3 makes me want to get it. I'm just waiting to go on sale. True. Don't forget Digimon, aka what's the name? Yeah, Digimon is lit. These motherfuckers saying that because of the movement nerf. They going back to Black Ops 7. Good. We don't want Call of Duty niggas on Battlefield anyway. I'm tired of people playing medic and not healing nobody. I'm tired of people playing engineer and I ain't seen that goddamn welding kit come out once. I ain't never seen you fucking light that tank on fire. Good. Go back to Call of Duty. Go deal with the wall hacks. Go deal with the Zens. Go deal with that shit, bro. We don't want to hear that shit. So to wrap this all up, the average gamer is a fucking fraud. I would love to know what's the percentage on PlayStation niggas not buying anything, because we know y'all niggas don't. Speaking of Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 confirms minimal skill-based matchmaking for multiplayer modes. That's right, ladies. On the cusp of the eve of the release of Battlefield 6, Call of Duty has announced their next level of desperation. They can feel it. It's just an energy in the air about. I've seen so many TikToks on my timeline of people saying they taken off work for Battlefield 6, and Activision knows, Microsoft knows. There's an energy about Battlefield 6 right now. People are excited about it. They ready to go to war. They ready to fly the helicopter. They ready to fly the planes. They ready to fly the tank, nigga. That's right. I said fly the tank. I don't know how we gonna do it, but we gonna find a way. They ready to get them fucking glinters, bro. We ready to get kitted out. We ready to heal 20 niggas in a row, then make a push for the fucking objective. And Call of Duty said, the only way we can stop the momentum of Battlefield 6 for our failing game is we have to take a page out of another failing game, i.e. X-Defiant. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I've already read this article. If you didn't know, Black Ops 7 has announced that they are removing skill-based matchmaking from most of their multiplayer modes. They've caved in to the pro gamers in the Call of Duty crowd. So when Black Ops 7 comes out, if you choose to waste your money on this dog shit game, and you get into your lobbies day one and it's just fucking sweataholics in there, you can't even, you getting spawn trapped on your third game. It's because you've got fucking all these pro gamers in your goddamn lobby, because those niggas bitched and complained. They were tired of playing sweats, because what online sweats' favorite thing to do is not play against competition at their own level, but to come into your lobby and ruin your day after you just worked a 12-hour shift. Because most of the people, not all, but most of the people who complain about skill-based matchmaking are people who are sweats at the game. Oh, I'm tired of sweating on the game. Well, go fucking touch some grass. Lose some matches on purpose so maybe you can get some easier lobbies. But don't try to come in my lobby where I'm having fun. I'm average level, playing somebody average level. We don't want to play with you, nigga. Go take a shower, bro. You're some bitches. Fuck this game. And last but not least, we got some more data. Latest US data sales show the Switch 2 is breaking yet another record. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You remember a few months ago when the Minish Cap Mafia proudly professed on the internet that they would not be purchasing the Nintendo Switch 2 because of the price of the games? And then for the fact that most of the games do not even come on the cartridge. You get the physical cartridge and then you have to download the game. You guys remember that? And then weeks later, when the Switch 2 came out, the Switch 2 became the fastest selling console in US history. Well, Nintendo's back a couple months later breaking more records. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is still breaking sales records in the United States. Sales data for the gaming industry in August 2025 is out from analyst firm Circana Matz Priscala. It shows that the Switch 2 is continuing to break long-standing industry sale records as it since is launched, and it's even helping to offset reduced sales for other consoles to boost overall hardware sales compared to last year. The Switch 2 is selling significantly faster than not just its predecessor, but even the previous 3-month sales record holder. It's selling faster than the Switch and the PS4. He lied, he fucking lied. The Switch 2 has sold 2.4 million units in the United States in the 3 months since its launch, putting it ahead of the previous record holder, the PS4, which sold 2.2 million units in the first 3 months back in 2013 to 2014. It's also trending 77% ahead of where the original Switch was at the same point of its lifespan. 77%. These impressive sales numbers have played a major role in the 32% increase in hardware spending for August 2025 compared to the previous year, despite the significant drops in sales for the PS5 and the Xbox Series. And this is super impressive for Nintendo because they're breaking sales records, and the Switch 2 don't even got no fucking games. You guys got Donkey Kong and Mario Kart 8.5.
Just resubbed.
Shout out to Dell with the sub. And Donkey Kong is cool, but I'm not buying a Switch for one platform. So for one game. So most people who got the Switch 2, that shit is just sitting there collecting dust. This is actually insane work. Not only did you say you were not gonna buy it, but you bought it and then you don't even fucking play it. We know you don't play it. Ain't no games. What you niggas doing? Driving around the open world in fucking Mario Kart? Shut the fuck up. This is nasty work. Nasty work. No fucking backbone. And then, by the way, this is an economic downturn. And by the way, this article's not lying. I can confirm that Nintendo is 100% moving units. And you know how I know? Because months ago, about 6, 7, 8 months ago, I bought stock in Nintendo. And if you want to, by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just confirming this article. I can firsthand confirm this article. About 6, 7, 8 months ago, I bought stock in Nintendo because I went to look at the price. And the price point for when I bought it was $14 per share. So I'm not gonna tell you how many I bought, but I bought a healthy amount of shares in Nintendo because I had a feeling that people were gonna eat up the Switch 2. I just had a suspicion despite what people were saying on the internet. And for those unaware, the way share prices work, 90% of the reason why a share price moves is because of the profit margins and how they handle debt and, you know, costs and all that stuff. You know, sometimes speculation plays a role too, but for the most part, it's about how much money the company's making, specifically profit. So I can confirm because recently I sold my Nintendo shares a few weeks ago and I made a shit ton of money. Yes, I did. Shout out to me. Not financial advice. TBH, why did you buy a Nintendo? Because I knew you niggas would buy it. The Minish Cap Mafia could not control themselves. You guys are just like the Minecraft. Okay? So I'm at the standpoint of, you know, I could sit here and preach about X, Y, and Z, but I know you niggas gonna do it. So I'm gonna buy it. Might as well make some money off the shit. Bag alert. Yeah, bag alert. Can you remind me why you encourage people to talk a lot of shit to buy gaming stocks? What do you mean? I literally just explained it to you. I bought them because I knew you guys were gonna buy it. Worst case scenario, I take a small L on it because I put a stop loss on it. I'll lose a little bit of money, but best case scenario, I make some money off of it. I don't understand what the issue is. I preach to be pro-consumer. I actually do what I talk about. I didn't buy that Switch 2. Y'all bought that shit. You mad I made some money off you niggas? You're mad at me. You're mad at me, not Nintendo, the company that doesn't put the game on the fucking cartridge. The company that's charging you more for less. You're mad at me because I took advantage of your lack of self-control. Make it make sense. What's the next bag? You gotta read, you gotta pay attention. I can sit on this stream and I can preach about doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm definitely gonna do my part. But I'm also not gonna have faith in some of y'all too. Now, if y'all didn't buy it, it'd be cool. I would have lost a little bit of money, but it'd been cool because in the long run, it would definitely have helped consumers. But I also got to go off my hunch, and I don't think people have self-control. I made some money off of it. It is what it is. Yeah, step your hustle up. Be right back. I'm about to get some mood. Shit, can't be mad at me. Yeah, be mad at the people that don't got no